Satchidanandakara prasannam Jnanaswarupam Nijabodharupam Yogendra Medyam Bhavarogya Vaidyam Shrimat Gurum Nityam Maham Bhajami. Om. And finally, the day had come when everybody stood in the queue and had their passports to paradise in their hands. And as they stood in this long queue patiently, all people like you and I and everybody who are interested on the spiritual path, they stood in a line with their passports to paradise. They had to have their visas stamped. And so we must wait. If the reward is good and great and tempting, then we must have the patience to wait. And all of us had practiced hard. We had practiced regularly to the best of our knowledge. And there was Bill, and there was Ben, and there was Gary, and there was Lorraine. I better not miss out some names of which people are very particular. And there was Sylvia, and everyone, and Ranbir was there, and Kim was there, and Mary was there, and all of us were there. Even Todd was there. And all the rest of the new ones are there. I mean, the souls. I mean, pardon me, I don't know your names as yet, but all of us were there. And the Archangel Gabriel was at the gate, the passport to paradise. And he was stamping the visas, the entry permits. So when he stamped the entry permits, they said, okay, let's do it the American system. They have it, when you go to England it's different, when you go to America. Each country has its different system. In America they have a very peculiar system. They stamp an entry permit, like in India you go, they stamp an entry permit, and then when you come to America, they check it again, they stamp it again. There's a double test. There's a double entry permit required. And the people who come, people to come to America, they're called aliens. I want the people of America to know this, the citizens. This word it would be very nice if they removed it and called us brothers or souls or something. One of us, one amongst equals or something. But anyway, aliens is very exotic, it's nice. So anyway, as they came in and the entry permits, the visas were stamped by the Archangel Gabriel, and everybody's visa was stamped, and they got into the time capsule, which traveled faster than light, because if you have to go to paradise, and if you have to go to the seventh heaven, you got to travel back in time, back to the future, faster than light, because you've got to break all barriers of time and space. So when you break the barriers of time and space, you travel very fast, and you go back faster than light. They entered the Hamsa capsule, the swan, with its head pointing towards the back, wings thrust towards the future, right in the center of our brain. And they took off in their individual capsules. And in no time, they were at the gate of paradise. And everybody was very excited. And but at the gate, there was the Archangel Michael. Now the Archangel Michael said, okay, please show me your visas, your entry permits. So, okay, fair enough. So they all one by one, they showed their entry permits. And they said, okay, it's stamped well. The light comes through. Your entry permit is okay. Your passport is sound. The light comes through, you're passed. But some of the people had, they had entry permits and visas where the mark was there, the dimple was there, but the light was not coming through. So now the problem was that those which they all had dimples, their passports, where the Archangel Gabriel had stamped the passports, the entry permits, but some dimples did not have the light coming through. So now this was a great problem. So now then the Buddhas of compassion, came along, and the Buddhas of compassion said, they told them, why don't we do one thing? They said to Archangel Gabriel, Michael, they said, since the Archangel Gabriel has stamped these passports, these entry permits, let's give it the benefit of doubt, let's honor his seal and stamp. And after all, we're all working for the good Lord. Call him what you may. We're working for the good Lord. So he said, okay, because the Buddhas of compassion have interceded, those entry permits which have been stamped and have let the light through the dimples are passed, they let into paradise, and those who have the dimples, they said, how would we say that? They said, let's get an electron microscope and look through the microscope. The dimple looks very big. The type of radius, the punch, the gradient, if it varies with the one, maybe it's an old man with a cigar in his mouth, he may not have been able to get his thing through, his appeal may have been feeble, and so he got a feeble punch. Let him go through. And but then there were some people where the machine that the Archangel Gabriel was, the depot that he got it from, was the machine was defective, and although he had punched it, the mark was there, which was a definite mark of God, that this is a child of God, stamped, the visa stamped on his heart, but there's no light coming through, there's no dimple there, and this thing. And then the servants of humanity came along, the humble gurus who had the lights coming through their passport. They said, good Lord, Archangel, please let all the visas, the entry permits pass through, as long as they have a passport. Please do this for us, and we will intercede, and we will take the karma. So they said, okay, since you're doing this and you say this, we are going to let everybody, all those who have passports and the entry permits, whether stamped or not stamped, will all go through. I've said this little story in context to what's going on in the modern times, is that God gives everyone a free and fair trial. It's not like on earth that they prevent you from doing something, that a constitution or a law or legality comes in the way of a true process of human flow.